Adele has just been exposed for telling a huge lie, and her fans are incredibly disappointed. Let's get into the other secrets Adele does not want you to know. In at number 10, the real reason her residency is cancelled. Adele announced on her Instagram last Thursday that her residency at Caesar's Palace was going to be delayed indefinitely. She announced the cancellation less than a day before her first performance was scheduled. She cried on Instagram while she said that the show was not ready, blaming rising cases and other issues with her crew as the reason for the delay. However, the truth has now come out. It's been exposed that problems in her relationship with Rich Paul are the real reason she is not performing. A source said, quote, "There's trouble in paradise, that's why she can't perform." This comes days after insiders exposed that she'd been crying through her rehearsals and was constantly on the phone with Paul while she was supposed to be rehearsing. Sources said, quote, "Adele's been crying and couldn't get through a single full rehearsal for the past month, just constantly on the phone with Rich, loudly shouting and sobbing." As of now, it seems that the entire residency might be off because Keith Urban has now taken over a portion of her tour dates. And at number 9, a secret relationship. Prior to her album 30 being released, Adele was very open about the fact that the album would be talking about her divorce. Adele had been with her ex, Simon Konecki, for years before getting married and having a child together, but shortly after they tied the knot, they got a divorce. Now the singer is dating Rich Paul, but a lot of people don't know that Adele had a secret relationship before she started publicly dating Paul. The songs All Night Parking and Woman Like Me are both about this secret relationship. She described that the relationship was long distance and was never going to work out, but it was a quote, "great learning curve and nice to feel loved." In Woman Like Me, the song paints Adele's ex as lazy, complacent, and incapable of appreciating her value. When describing this relationship, she said, quote, "There was someone I have loved, not been in love with, but been so fond of and have been for years, but I was unable to pretend that I wasn't in my own storm. I couldn't give myself properly. I couldn't be consistent, neither could he. And quote, I associate him with the breakdown of my marriage. So therefore, he's a part of my storm." And at number 8, family issues. Adele is very private about her personal life, and that includes her relationship with her family. Specifically, Adele and her father have always had a strained relationship. In 2011, her father, who she had very little contact with, claimed the singer struggled to find love because she, quote, "had abandonment issues." Mark left their family when Adele was only 8, and part of the reason was due to his addiction to alcohol. Then in 2017, Adele confirmed a tense relationship during her acceptance speech for Record of the Year at the Grammys, saying to her manager, quote, "I love you like you're my dad. I love you so much. I don't love my dad, that's the thing." Adele's father passed away from cancer last year, and it's been reported that in his final months, the relationship was not able to be mended. And at number 7, hides from fans. Since Adele's been able to sell out sports stadiums full of adoring fans, the logistics of how she is getting around those stadiums without being noticed is a bit tricky. But her crew came up with a unique way to get her around that had to be kept secret from fans. This method is to hide Adele in one of those black boxes that the crews usually move cargo around the stadium. So she gets wheeled through all her fans while hiding in one of those boxes. And the fans have no idea they are just steps away from the woman that they paid to come see. One downside is that several minutes inside this plastic container leaves her dripping with sweat, something she addressed early in her performance at the ANZ Stadium in Sydney, with her joking, quote, "How I get to the stage makes me so sweaty, I'm drenched." Then at the end of the night, she told fans how she got around. And at number 6, secret Twitter account. Adele has been open about the fact that she does not use her official social media accounts, and her team has actually taken her passwords away from her because they don't trust what she posts. Because of this, she has multiple secret social media accounts that she uses instead. Specifically, she created her own secret Twitter account so she could share her true thoughts on things secretly. Speaking during a gig in Brisbane, Australia, she said, quote, "I was looking on Twitter last night. They don't know I have a secret account. Well, obviously they do now because I said that. By the way, I mean my management. I'm not allowed to access my own Twitter because I'm quite mouthy and I say the wrong thing a lot of the time. So they took that privilege away from me." She got the rights to her Instagram back in 2020, but they were quickly taken away once again after Adele posted the controversial photo of herself attending the Notting Hill Carnival in August of 2020 wearing Bantu knots. Halfway number 5, Taylor Swift feud. I'm sure Adele does not want us to know that she has allegedly feuded with Taylor Swift. This is a feud we're not sure is real or not, but it seems there's been some shade thrown between these two singers for years now. After Adele beat out Taylor for a Golden Globe in 2013, Adele made a bit of a shady dig when Adele jokingly said that she is a squad, but they aren't models, clearly taking a dig at Taylor's model squad. Then this year it was reported that Taylor Swift was furious that Adele might be stepping into pop music in her new album. A source said, quote, "Taylor Swift is not happy that Adele is apparently taking a new direction for her next album because it means she could be stealing her pop princess crown. Apparently Swift is giving no help to Adele with this potential crossover." The source added, quote, "Should this rivalry go public, it's going to get messy. It's probably best for Taylor to keep her copycat concerns to herself. And at number 4, she's a diva. One thing I'm sure Adele does not want us to know is that other celebrities think she's a huge diva. Bruno Mars specifically. Singer and producer Bruno Mars had some eyebrow-raising things to say about Adele after they collaborated on her hit song, All I Ask. He of course sang her praises for her amazing talent, but he also made sure to include that she can be a bit of a diva. He said in the interview, quote, "She's a superstar. She walks into the studio, she's got all this attitude. She's a diva. She's like, I don't want to do this, I don't like that. And then as soon as we hit a couple chords that she liked, we started rolling, and that's where we got that song from." But of course, he praised how talented she is, saying that there was a moment where she was in the booth singing when the water started to vibrate. And of course, he would love to work with her again. He said he's just waiting for her to call on him again. It's unclear if he meant that she was a diva in an endearing way, or if he meant to throw some shade. And at number 3, won't apologize for weight loss. Since Adele has had a dramatic weight loss after her divorce, it's been a heated topic of debate amongst her fans. Plenty of fans are happy for her, but many felt that she left them behind and is not actually body positive, or she wouldn't have felt the need to lose weight. Adele has admitted that she feels bad about her radical weight loss, but said that while some fans feel abandoned by her, it's not her job to validate how people feel about their bodies. Since her divorce, she's dropped 7 stone, saying fitness helped with her anxiety after her divorce. Even though fans are upset with her, she said, quote, "I'm not shocked or even fazed by it because my body's been objectified my entire career. I'm either too big or too small. I'm either hot or I'm not. So for now, she's still focusing on herself, not about what people think of her." She continued, quote, "I was body positive then and I'm body positive now. It's not my job to validate how people feel about their bodies." And at number 10, lied about Matt Doran interview. We're not sure if Adele or the media is to blame for this one, but reporter Matt Doran got roasted by Adele fans after it was reported that she stormed out of their interview because Doran did not listen to her album beforehand. Australia's Daily Telegraph revealed that Channel 7's Matt Doran came to London specifically for this 20 to 30-minute interview in an over $600,000 deal. Reportedly halfway through the interview, Adele noticed that he was struggling to express an opinion of his own. Then she flat out asked if he listened to her album. When he said no, she walked off and ended the interview early. Sony later refused to allow footage of the interview to be used with Doran, and he was suspended for 2 weeks. This embarrassing blunder then went viral, with Adele fans roasting Doran online for days. Doran did admit that he did not listen to the album beforehand, but said she did not storm out as it's been reported, adding, quote, "To suggest that the interview was disrespectful or that Adele walked out is incorrect, and that they actually went over time and had a great conversation." And finally, number 1, Bantu knots scandal. Probably the worst scandal that Adele has ever been in was her scandal surrounding her Bantu knots. In the UK, they celebrate something called the Notting Hill Carnival, where people will share their pride about being a British person with Caribbean descent. And instead of celebrating the occasion how we would have expected, Adele shocked the world when she showed up wearing a Jamaican flag-printed bikini and Bantu knots in her hair, a style worn traditionally by Black women in the region. People immediately called it disrespectful and cultural appropriation. After waves of backlash, she told British Vogue, quote, "I didn't read the effing room." And in hindsight, she completely understands why the backlash occurred. Following the scandal, she says she learned that Bantu knots aren't just a hairstyle, and they serve a functional and cosmetic purpose for certain hair types. She continued, quote, "I was wearing a hairstyle that is actually to protect Afro hair. It ruined mine, obviously." So that is all for the list, guys. Let me know your thoughts below and let me know anything that I missed that could be in a part 2. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and we will catch you in the next one.